Did you know that, according to the World Health Organization, 99% of deaths after age 75 come down to just 5 main causes? It's not simply natural aging as many people assume. In reality, most of these heartbreaking losses stem from risks that could have been prevented if only they were recognized in time. As someone who has worked as a geriatric doctor in Japan for over 30 years, I can tell you this with certainty. It's not time that takes away our lives, it's complacency. After age 75, the body is like a machine that has operated for 7, even 8 decades. It still has strength. It can still function well if it is cared for properly. Sadly, most of us ignore the body's small cries for help. A little more fatigue than usual, a bit of dizziness when standing up, shortness of breath after a few stairs. All of these warning signs are often brushed aside until one day, a sudden stroke, a fractured hip, or a heart attack strikes, and life changes forever. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), in the United States alone, 795,000 people suffer a stroke each year, and around 80% of these events are preventable. A staggering figure that should make us all pause. You might be thinking, I'm fine, I can still walk around. I eat normally, I don't need to worry yet. But I must tell you, this is exactly the false sense of security that leads millions of seniors into crisis every year. Take Mr. Yamamoto, one of my patients, 78 years old. He was still driving himself to the market, still tending his little garden each morning. Until one day, he bent down to pick up a glove that had fallen on the ground, lost his balance, and fractured his hip. Just one minor fall, but the consequences were devastating. 6 months in bed, 50% loss of muscle strength, and he was never able to walk independently again. According to the Global Aging Foundation, 1 out of every 4 seniors over 75 experiences a fall each year. And among those who suffer a hip fracture, over 20% will die within 12 months. But please don't despair. The wonderful news is over 70% of these age-related tragedies can be prevented with simple, consistent adjustments. No, you don't have to overhaul your entire life. You just need to start small. 10 minutes of balance exercises each morning. A little more leafy greens, a little less salt on your plate, checking your blood pressure once a week, having cheerful conversations with friends rather than sitting in silence. Small drops of rain, when they fall in the right place, can green an entire field. In today's video, we will explore the 5 leading causes of death after age 75, how to recognize early warning signs, and most importantly, simple, clinically proven strategies that can help you or your loved ones extend life by many years, even decades. Stay with me until the end, because at the conclusion of this video, I'll be sharing a 7-step formula that I've used to help thousands of my patients add 5 to 10 healthy years to their lives, just through small daily changes. If you're watching this video right now, please leave a comment with the number 1 below to let me know you're here with me on this journey. Your small interaction means the world to me and helps spread this vital knowledge to others who need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss valuable tips to safeguard your health and longevity. Coming up next, I'll reveal the number 1 cause of death that almost everyone believes they are safe from, until tragedy strikes unexpectedly. A silent killer, one that can lurk inside your body for 20 years without a single warning symptom. Are you ready? Let's begin. Part 1. Cause number 1, heart disease. If there's one cause of death that operates in total silence after age 75, it's heart disease. According to the World Health Organization, cardiovascular disease accounts for nearly 33% of all deaths globally each year, and the percentage is even higher among those over 75. Yet the saddest part is, most of these tragedies are entirely preventable, if only we learned to listen to our bodies earlier. I still remember Mrs. Tanaka, an 82-year-old patient I once treated. For many years, She simply thought that occasional breathlessness while climbing stairs or feeling tired quickly during walks was just normal aging. She never measured her blood pressure, never had regular heart checkups. Until one afternoon, while watering her garden, she suddenly clutched her chest, collapsed, and never woke up again. When we reviewed her medical records, we found that she had been suffering from chronic high blood pressure for years, a major cardiovascular risk factor, yet it had gone undetected. Hidden dangers. 1. High blood pressure. Nicknamed the silent killer, hypertension damages arterial walls little by little, forcing the heart to work harder year after year. The danger: there are no obvious symptoms until a catastrophic event strikes, like a heart attack or stroke. According to the CDC, 2/3 of people over 65 have hypertension, but over 50% of them do not have it properly controlled. 2. Poor diet. Decades of eating too much salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats slowly erode cardiovascular health. Few realize that missing daily servings of vegetables and fiber can accelerate arterial stiffening by 20 to 30%. 3. Sedentary lifestyle. The heart is a muscle, and if it's not exercised, it weakens just like any other muscle. According to research by the National Institute on Aging, seniors who maintain just 20 minutes of light activity per day have up to a 40% lower risk of heart disease compared to inactive individuals. Early warning signs. Never ignore small symptoms. Unusual fatigue, shortness of breath during effort. Mild chest, shoulder, or back discomfort, dizziness when changing positions. These are your heart's silent cries for help. Simple yet life-saving solutions. You don't need to become a marathon runner. Just monitor your blood pressure weekly. Add one more bowl of vegetables to your daily meals. Walk for 15 minutes every morning. Sleep well and manage stress. These small steps can literally save your life. If you're still watching, please comment the number to below so I know you're still here with me. And if you find this information valuable, please share this video with your parents or grandparents, because a small act of sharing today could save a life tomorrow. Don't wait until the heart breaks down. Start protecting it now. PART2, falls and injuries. One misstep, a lifetime changed. One misstep, a lifetime of lost freedom. It's not cancer. It's not stroke. One of the most common and most devastating causes of death after age 75 is something most people overlook: a fall. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, more than 37 million serious falls occur each year, with older adults making up the majority. Here in Japan, where I practice, 1 in 2 seniors over age 80 has suffered at least one serious fall. A fall is not just a fall. You might think, if I fall, I'll just get up, maybe a bruise or two. But for seniors, even a minor fall can mark the beginning of irreversible decline. Hip fractures gives months in bed. Loss of independent mobility gives total dependence. Weakened muscles, lungs, heart gives infections, secondary complications. 20 to 30% of elderly people who fall never fully recover their mobility. Worse, many develop fear after their first fall, leading to less movement gives weaker muscles gives even more falls. It becomes a vicious, life-threatening cycle. Real story: Mr. Shinji and the familiar staircase. Mr. Shinji, 81 years old, was still alert and active, living alone in a 2-story apartment. One morning, like every other, he walked downstairs to make tea. Unfortunately, his slippers were slippery, and the staircase had no handrail. He slipped, hit his head on the step. A mild brain injury, but the greater harm was this: he never dared leave the 2nd floor again. 2 months later, he began showing weakness, shortness of breath, and loss of appetite. The diagnosis: functional decline due to prolonged immobility, with a high risk of permanent dependence. Why do older adults fall? 1. Muscle, joint, and reflex loss. With age, balance mechanisms weaken. According to the Mayo Clinic, adults over 75 lose an average of 1 to 3% of muscle mass each year if they don't exercise. 2. Medications: blood pressure pills, heart meds, sedatives, sleep aids. Many cause dizziness, drowsiness, or blood pressure drops, increasing fall risk. 3. Unsafe home environment. No handrails on stairs, slippery bathrooms, loose carpets, poor lighting. All are silent traps for the elderly. Fall prevention, simple, powerful, life-saving. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with 5 steps. 1. Practice 5 minutes of balance daily, for example, standing on one foot while brushing teeth. 2. Strengthen leg and hip muscles through walking or chair exercises. 3. Improve home safety, lighting, handrails, non-slip mats. 4. Review medications with your doctor. Eliminate fall risk drugs. 5. Don't hide falls. Tell your family or doctor to intervene early. If you've had a near fall in the past year, or know someone who has, comment 3 below to share your story. Your one comment or share could help another senior avoid a devastating fall. Don't let a small misstep steal your precious golden years. You deserve to walk freely, independently, until the very end. Part 3. Respiratory diseases, the fragile breath of old age, when every breath becomes precious. If you've ever seen an elderly loved one coughing through the night, struggling to breathe after just a few steps, or gasping for air when winter sets in, you've witnessed how fragile breathing becomes in old age. After age 75, the respiratory system, worn down by decades of filtering dust, pollutants, and infection, begins to weaken significantly. Lungs lose elasticity, airways narrow, immunity declines. And sadly, it's often complacency that turns respiratory illness into a leading cause of death among seniors. Alarming statistics. According to WHO, pneumonia is the 3rd leading cause of death in people over 75 worldwide. In Japan, 2 out of every 3 respiratory infection hospitalizations involve patients over 70. A 2020 study at Tokyo University found that sedentary seniors were 2.5 times more likely to develop pneumonia than those who engaged in light daily activity. Real story, Grandma Sato and the winter cough. Grandma Sato, 84, lived with her granddaughter in Yokohama. She was once sprightly, tending to plants and tidying her home each morning. But during winter, she started to cough, just mildly. Her granddaughter urged her to see a doctor. "I'm old, dear," she said. "A little cough is normal." 3 days later, she couldn't get out of bed. She was rushed to the hospital with severe pneumonia, low oxygen, and high fever. She survived, but it took almost 2 months to recover, and she never walked the same way again. The silent enemies of aging lungs. 1. Pneumonia, more dangerous than you think. For younger people, pneumonia often resolves with antibiotics. For seniors, it can cause respiratory failure, sepsis, and sudden death if not treated swiftly. 2. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Common in those with past smoking history or environmental exposure. Early symptoms, chronic cough, phlegm, shortness of breath, are often mistaken for just old age. 3. Indoor air hazards. If you notice that indoor dust, mold, pet dander, kitchen fumes, all become silent threats to older lungs. How to keep your lungs healthy? 1. Don't stay still. Walk daily or move your arms and legs to expand your lungs and boost oxygen exchange. Point 2. Purify your air. Ventilate rooms often. Use air purifiers. Avoid smoke and incense. 3. Get vaccinated. Annual flu shots. Pneumococcal vaccine every 5 years. Many seniors end up hospitalized simply for skipping this step. 4. Listen to small signals. Persistent cough, wheezing. Chest tightness, labored breathing. Don't wait until hospitalization. Get checked. If you've cared for an elder with a lingering cough or have experienced it yourself, comment for below to share. And please, share this video. That harmless cough someone is ignoring might be a silent emergency waiting to happen. A strong, healthy breath is the most precious gift you can protect as you age. Part 4. Stroke, when the brain cries for help but no one hears. Just a few minutes, and everything can change forever. No one expects that the most ordinary day might become the most life-changing one. Stroke is one of the leading causes of death after age 75, and yet what breaks my heart the most isn't the number. It's the fact that most strokes could have been prevented if only the warning signs were noticed a little earlier. The alarming truth, according to the World Health Organization, WHO, stroke is the second leading cause of death globally and accounts for over 11% of deaths in people over 75. A study from Osaka University found that up to 80% of strokes can be prevented by managing blood pressure and detecting atrial fibrillation early. Tragically, stroke rarely gives a second chance. Once it strikes, brain cells begin to die within minutes if not treated. Real story, Mr. Haruki and the morning tea. Mr. Haruki, 79, was a meticulous man. Every morning at 6:30 sharp, he made tea and read the newspaper. That day was no different until 6:45 when his wife heard a cup fall and found him collapsed on the floor. Emergency help saved his life, but his entire left side was paralyzed. He could no longer speak or walk. From a proud, independent man, he became wheelchair-bound. The saddest part, months earlier, he had mini-stroke symptoms, brief confusion, slurred speech, slight numbness in his hand. He just laughed and said, "Probably just slept on it wrong." Top causes of stroke. 1. High blood pressure, the silent killer. 70 to 80% of stroke patients have hypertension, but most don't even know they have it. Uncontrolled pressure weakens brain vessels, causing rupture or blockage. To atrial fibrillation, irregular heartbeat. Irregular heartbeat cause is blood to pool and clot, and when a clot reaches the brain gives ischemic stroke. It's painless, silent, detected only with ECG. 3. Unhealthy lifestyle. Too much salt, too little greens, not enough water. Inactivity gives thicker blood, gives more clots. Chronic stress, poor sleep, smoking equals dramatically higher stroke risk. The fast warning signs. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech slurring. Time to call 911 or emergency. Every minute counts. How to prevent stroke effectively. 1. Check blood pressure weekly or daily if you're at risk. 2. Get regular ECG scans, especially after age 70. 3. Eat blood-cleaning foods like leafy greens, fatty fish, walnuts. 4. Drink enough water. Helps keep blood flowing smoothly. 5. Exercise gently. Just 15 minutes of walking daily cuts risk by 30%. If you've ever seen someone slurring their speech or felt sudden numbness in your arm or face, comment 5 below. Even a tiny signal can save a lifetime of independence. Please share this video because stroke doesn't knock before it enters. Catch it early and you can prevent a tragedy. Part 5. Cognitive decline, when memories fade before life ends. Some losses are invisible, but hurt the most. The blank stare when someone forgets their daughter's name. The confusion when they no longer recognize the home they've lived in for decades. The silence when words, thoughts, and memories slip away one by one. Cognitive decline doesn't kill all at once. It takes a person piece by piece. The frightening reality. According to the Alzheimer's Association, 1 in 3 people over age 85 has dementia. In Japan, over 6 million elderly are living with cognitive impairment, and that number is expected to double by 2050. Most alarming, over 50% of cases are detected too late. Real story, Ms. Fukuda and the empty eyes. Ms. Fukuda, 76, was a retired art teacher. One day, she couldn't find her way home after buying bread, something she'd done every week. She stood motionless at a familiar intersection for hours. When brought home, she laughed and said, "I guess I was just daydreaming." But months later, things worsened. She forgot her husband's name, skipped meals, drank water repeatedly because she forgot she had already done it. One evening, she left the gas stove burning for 3 hours. The family only noticed when the smell of burning filled the hallway. Why is cognitive decline so dangerous? 1. Life-threatening accidents. Forgetting to turn off the stove, wandering off, failing to recognize danger, leading to fire, falls, even getting lost. 2. Inability to self-care. Forgetting medication, losing track of time, irregular eating gives malnutrition, dehydration, worsening chronic illness. 3. Isolation and depression. Patients withdraw, feel afraid, suspicious, ashamed, which accelerates cognitive decline dramatically. Early warning signs, forgetting familiar names. Misplacing items oddly, for example, wallet in fridge. Struggling to follow conversations, sudden mood changes or paranoia. If too out of for occur, seek help early. How to protect your mind. 1. Daily brain training. Crosswords, reading, learning new words, painting. Trying new skills, new recipe. Smartphone use, new language. 2. Social engagement. Meeting friends, talking to grandkids. Joining senior clubs reduces dementia risk by up to 50%. Nagoya University, Japan. 3. Brain-friendly diet. Omega-3 found in salmon, mackerel. Berries, green veggies, nuts, antioxidants. Avoid ultra-processed, sugary foods. 4. Light physical exercise. Walking, gentle yoga, tai chi, increases blood flow to the brain. Just 20 minutes per day can extend mental sharpness by 5 to 7 years. If your parent or loved one is slowly forgetting themselves, comment 6 below, so I know you're walking this difficult journey too. And if you've ever feared forgetting the name of someone you love, please share this video. Memory is the soul's most precious treasure. Protect it while you still can. Final message: you have the power to shape your final years. We've just walked through a special journey, one that wasn't only about illness, but about choosing how to live. Let's take a moment to reflect. In part 1, we learned how to protect the heart, the engine that keeps us alive. In part 2, we realized that a single fall can change everything, unless we prepare early. In part 3, we saw that every breath is precious and must be guarded through daily habits. In part 4, we faced stroke, the silent thief, and how a few simple checks can prevent tragedy. And in part 5, we confronted perhaps the most heartbreaking loss, the fading of memory, of self, and yet we still have ways to hold on to who we are. My final message for you is this: old age is not the end, it's the deepest chapter of life. We may not control time, but we can control how we live in the time we have left. Just one small change a day, one walk, one healthy meal, one heartfelt conversation, one act of care, and you bring yourself closer to a life of health, meaning, and freedom. Please share this video with someone you care about, because a single share could save a life. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to join us. Subscribe, and we'll meet again in the next video, where I'll continue walking beside you toward longer, healthier, and more fulfilling years. I'm Dr. Hoshino Daisuke. Thank you for listening with your heart. See you in the next video. Stay well and live each day fully.